Hey guys, it's George back again from Men's Knitting, and I did mention in my previous podcast that I'd been kind of reclusive and hidden away, and the reason is because of texture time. Woo! The Stephen West Mystery Knit Along. And man, it's actually been a really fun project. I am part of the way through section 3. And if I may show you, please allow me to show you. Spoiler alert, spoiler alert, spoiler alert. If you don't want to know how the pattern works out, now's a really good time to watch something else. But otherwise, this is the piece so far. So this is part 1 in the center there, and then there were the squiggles and really quite unusual Latvian braid on the side. And now I'm just working my way through the waves that are going to create the wings. I'm assuming, I don't know, I'll find out tomorrow actually how the pattern finishes. So what have I learned from this whole process and the Stephen West Knit Along? The first one is trust in natural colors. I actually bought the kit from Steve West, and it arrived and it was nice, but I didn't really dig it. So I started the whole process, and Steve had 2 options. You could do the brioche version, and I had not learned brioche, or you could do this seed stitch patterning. And I started with the seed stitch, and I have to say I hated it. I just was like, nah, not into this. No. I don't like the feel of the texture, and I really wasn't happy with the way that the colors were coming out. And this was kit number 9, I believe. But you'll notice that the fluffy yarn here I've actually incorporated into the next one. The other problem was that the minute I saw the brioche version knitted up, it was like, holy fucking crap, that is so beautiful. And I had to do brioche. Oh my God, brioche. Seriously, who invented brioche? Nancy Marchant, I love you. I think you're a wonderful teacher, an amazing person, and a devil for creating all of this brioche craze, because my God, brioche is like the risotto of knitting. You have to watch the crap out of it. It's not easy, but it's totally worth it in the end. But I've learned with brioche, it's not relaxing on a train kind of knit. You have to keep an eye on it, and if you drop stuff, you have to be able to pick it up. And I've done a previous post on how to pick up dropped stitches in brioche. That said, I eventually got it. I started to understand it, and I'm happy with the brioche piece. But even when I was doing section 2, I was like, fuck me, there's another dropped stitch. I was finding dropped brioche stitches left, right, and center. So watch it like an eagle, and count like there is no tomorrow. And if you've dropped a stitch, you got to find it, and it can be in multiple layers in brioche. So that was a good learning experience for me. But will I go and do more brioche? Absolutely. It's beautiful, and now that I've got the hang of it, I will totally do it. What else did I learn in this thing? Fluffy yarn is a pain in the ass to knit. It looks great when it's done, but I actually find that it gets a bit snaggy, and I'm not a huge fan of knitting the fluffy yarns. But again, the effect is amazing when it's done, so it's weighing it up. I wouldn't do a whole jumper in that really lovely soft fluffy stuff, but I would do features within that. So that's been good, and certainly the Latvian braid looks amazing and is worth the effort, and the waves are great. It's such it's weird doing a pattern where you're not quite sure how it's going to work out. And I noticed that online, if you go into the Ravelry groups, you can see that people are really, really angsty over the color combinations. It's like they're so worried, and it's like I've gone back to the thing of like I wasn't 100% sure on the whether or not the red and gold would go with the purple and the blue, but I cannot believe I'm going to say this. I did a swatch. I actually did a tiny little swatch, put it beside there and said, you know what, that looks good enough. And I was happy with that. But the other thing was that I also sat down and thought, would I see these color combinations in nature? And I did. I've seen gold and I've seen red together, and I've seen blue, purple, gold and red all together. Particularly at the moment in spring, you're going to see all of these beautiful colors, or fall in the Northern Hemisphere as well. So yes, I have learned heaps from the this knit along. It's hard work, and I must admit there were some days where I was knitting for like 5 hours to try and keep up, because I'm hyper competitive and I want to make sure that I keep up. But also I'm very keen to finish the project. I'll be glad when it's finished, because I've got a whole bunch of other Christmas knitting that I want to get finished as well. So I'll knock that one off and get it finished, and I'll show you the completed project soon. But it's been a good process, and if nothing else, it's exposed me to types of knitting that I've never done before. I've never done wavy knitting, and I've never done brioche, and I'm really grateful to have learned those things as well. But it's also forced me to think about color combinations and to trust in a pattern, and count up. Oh my God, lifelines as well. I didn't count. When I was doing the brioche section, you needed 12 big holes, right? I did 13 because I just stopped counting, and then I went, holy shit, putting a lifeline into brioche. There were tears that night. I managed to get the lifeline in and rip it all back, and then I realized that my lifeline was going across 2 rows and I had to drop and but I was able to do it. I was prepared to abandon. I was prepared to start all over again, but there are many great YouTube videos on how to throw in a lifeline. And now if I'm about to do something tricky, I am very happy to put in a lifeline as part of that process. And that was a good learning experience as well. So yes, brioches, yes. Counting, yes. Lifelines, yes. And perhaps just to ensure that I do some other stuff as well. Just to make sure that, you know, I'm not getting too bogged down in one thing. So that's what's on the needles at the moment, and it's going to be finished really soon. And then a little bit of Christmas stuff I am going to do for my mother-in-law. I am planning to do the Haiku Shawl by Anna Johanna for my mother-in-law for Christmas. And I'm going to do, there's kids in the family, and I'm going to be a little bit naughty, and I'm going to give them all pussy hats, because I'm that kind of uncle. I'm the bad uncle who gives young children pussy hats. But you can never be too young and political, right? And they're nice hats as well, and they'll enjoy wearing those. And then socks. Because with my Steve West shorts, which I showed in a previous, with my Steve West shorts, I'm thinking about wearing these to a dance party actually, and I want to have some nice socks to go with it. So I'm going to learn how to knit socks as well, and I want to do some knee-high socks. So I'm looking at sock patterns at the moment to get my head around those. But the trick is I need to get them above my ankle. Great, all of the sock patterns do that, but then I've got big calves. So I'm going to look at how to do the increases for calves as well. So again, another learning experience. So I am absolutely getting value out of my Blueprint Craftsy subscription. There are so many good classes there. Yeah, it's been good actually, and I've just been picking and choosing bits and pieces throughout all of that. So yeah, there you go. That's been my learning experience for the past few weeks. I hope everyone's going really well, and I look forward to hearing from you guys. And if anybody else was participating in the Steve West Knit Along, hey, show us how you're going. Show us your pieces of work. Because it's really exciting that for everybody doing the same pattern, it's coming out with so many different color scapes, and I find that really exciting, and just seeing how people have adapted and changed things in the patterns as well. So fun times are ahead. Have a great one, and I'll catch you soon. See you guys, and keep on knitting.